All right, so student engagement. It's the holy grail, right? Especially in the online world. We all want our students to be excited about learning, not just trying to get by. And that's where this deep dive gets really interesting. We're exploring Delphinium, and they are making some pretty bold claims about transforming Canvas. And you, my friend, you want to know if it lives up to the hype. Can Delphinium really boost engagement, help students succeed, and maybe even make learning, dare I say, fun again?
We've all been there, staring at a blank Canvas page, wishing for something more engaging. And that's what Delphinium promises.
Remember you were saying how frustrating those low completion rates are with some online courses? Well, Delphinium's creators, they saw that as a huge problem. Their research really dug into what makes students tick in digital spaces.
Exactly.
Think about what makes a good in-person class. The energy, the rapport with the teacher, feeding off classmates. Delphinium tries to bottle that up and bring it online, making students feel like they're part of a class, not just a username submitting work into the void.
Well, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's start with what we know. Canvas. It's kind of the go-to learning platform, right? It's everywhere. But engaging. I don't know if that's the first word that comes to mind.
Yeah, functional, for sure, but not exactly winning any design awards.
Ouch. But yeah, they're not wrong. Standard Canvas. It's a lot, especially if online learning isn't your thing.
Like, come on, Canvas, you had one job. Make online learning not painful to look at.
Exactly. And the thing is, that blandness, it can actually have real consequences. There's research showing that a lackluster online environment can impact student performance, which is a major concern.
Especially given the learning loss we've seen since the pandemic, it's a big deal. So where does Delphinium fit into all of this?
Well, they want to be the solution to Canvas boredom. Their big idea is a complete visual overhaul plus some strategic gamification. They say it'll make the whole Canvas experience more engaging, all in just 3 minutes.
3 minutes to revamp a Canvas, huh? Okay, you've got my attention. Tell me more about this makeover.
Okay, so imagine this. Instead of that wall of text you're used to seeing, you get this clean, visually organized layout. Think color-coded modules, progress bars that actually make sense, and instant insights into how students are doing.
No more endless scrolling for teachers or students. I like the sound of that already.
Right. It's all about making the experience more intuitive and less overwhelming.
Definitely. Anything to make it easier to navigate the digital learning world and track progress, that's a huge plus.
And Delphinium's tackling a piece of that puzzle that often gets missed. Motivation. Can't just be good content. Got to make them want to learn. It's that human element they're trying to figure out. How to actually motivate students. Refreshing, really.
Okay, so how's that look in practice?
So imagine a student. They're working through a challenging course. They're putting in the effort, but it's easy to get discouraged, you know?
Oh yeah, we've all been there.
Right. Now imagine that same student using Delphinium.
So it's not a whole separate thing, you know, it actually integrates right into Canvas.
Exactly. They've got this personalized dashboard, and it's got these color-coded progress bars that visually show them how far they've come.
Okay.
Each assignment they complete, boom, it moves them closer to 100%. It's visual, it's immediate, and it reinforces that feeling of, hey, I'm making progress, I can do this.
I see. So it's like you're gamifying the feeling of accomplishment itself in a way.
Exactly. And that sense of progress, it can be so motivating, especially for students who might otherwise struggle to stay engaged.
Right, because they can literally see how far they've come, even if they're not at the finish line yet. It's about celebrating those small wins along the way.
Yes, exactly.
And this is key. It takes that, remember we talked about the sea of gray?
Oh, yeah, the digital void.
Right.
They call it the wall of text.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal. I felt my attention span shrinking just looking at it.
And that's the point. It's overwhelming.
Delphinium, it makes it, well, less void-like, more visual. You know, for example, green, you're good. Yellow, maybe take another look. And red, well, you know, red means maybe revisit those assignments.
So it's like a constant progress report, but more fun than a spreadsheet.
Definitely.
So Delphinium makes it visually engaging. Color-coded progress, key info's easy to find. You know where you are, where you've been, where you're going.
Like a roadmap for the course. Way better than those syllabus PDFs we all pretend to read.
Exactly. Big picture's clear, but it's broken down into manageable steps. Even a little countdown timer for the course keeps you on track.
Clever. So much psychology goes into making something actually motivating.
Exactly. It's about teaching humans, not just content. And humans are complicated. Everyone learns differently.
Exactly. And Delphinium, it tries to address that, not by making the material easier, but by influencing how students engage with the learning process itself.
So less about changing the content, more about changing the vibe.
Right. But it's all about that motivation, right? And to keep everything organized.
So no more forgetting about that one tiny assignment and then bam, it's like a 0 in the grade book.
Exactly. It's all right there. Clear roadmap.
Right.
It's all about giving students the tools of support they need to take the reins of their learning, to feel that sense of accomplishment. Instead of just emphasizing grades, Delphinium focuses on progress and effort. Even if a student doesn't get an A, they can still feel good about the work they put in and how far they've come.
So it's about shifting the mindset around online learning from a chore to something more enjoyable, more engaging, creating a more supportive learning environment for everyone involved.
So it sounds like Delphinium is on the right track, wouldn't you say?
I think so. They're asking the right questions. They're definitely trying to address a real need in the world of online learning.
Definitely.
Which brings us to something for you to think about as you learn more about Delphinium. Ask yourself, how can we use Delphinium to create a truly amazing learning experience for every student?
Now that's a question worth asking. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder that. Until next time, happy learning, everyone.